Right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this, another episode of 1998. Was it great? Tonight we're going to be looking at WCW Uncensored 1998. Now, of course, 2 shows already this year, Sold Out and Super Bowl, and both of them have been pretty good. Can WCW put on a 3rd straight good pay-per-view? And as far as I know what I've been reviewing, that's never happened, has it? Anyway, Uncensored, the pay-per-view where there are no rules. Anything goes tonight. To expect the wrestlers to use weapons and low blows and anything like that. Anything goes. Most importantly, there will be no disqualifications at all. Guarantee you that. We are live at the Civic Center in Mobile, Alabama, and there are 7,475 fans on hand, making it a sellout. In our opening contest, Booker T defeating Eddy Guerrero in a good match to retain the TV Championship. Eddy Guerrero has Chavo Guerrero with him. They had a match, I think it was on Thunder, it may have been Nitro, where if Chavo lost, he had to do what Eddy says. Mean Gene is my dad, signing the crowd, makes me smile. Eddy stalls so the fans can let him know that he sucks. Booker gets vexed and hits a lovely power slam so Eddy bails. Booker slams him on the steel concrete. Inside, Booker goes up top but gets crotched and hits a superplex, gain control. Booker attempts the axe kick, but Eddy kicks the leg, then goes to work on the leg with kicks. So he slams the leg onto the apron. And then he hits a sort of it's weird, it's like a heel hook. It's like a half crab sort of heel hook thing, complete with heely legs on the ropes. Of course, I'm absolutely loving this, especially when he follows that up with a slingshot, a springboard, no, it's a slingshot senton onto the injured knee. That, friends, is just gorgeous. The crowd are all over Eddy. Then a shoulder block to the knee off the top is fantastic. Booker comes back with a flapjack and hits a spinneroonie, selling the injured leg afterwards. Always a good thing. He hits an axe kick for 2, a spine buster, which is called a sidewalk slam by Tony Schiavone, because why not, eh? Oh dear. Booker goes for the arm hangover, but Eddy moves, but he is then slingshotted into the turnbuckle. Booker goes for a side kick, but again Eddy moves and Booker ends up in the turnbuckles, where Eddy goes for a superplex. Booker pushes him off and hits a perfect missile dropkick to get through 3 at 11 minutes and 8 seconds. Really good opener. The crowd were hot for all of it. Decent length, and of course the storytelling was absolutely flawless. It's all good. Afterwards, Chavo's on the outside and he's sort of showing concern for Eddy, but every so often he sort of looks around him. But Eddy spots him, comes over, like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you smirking? And Chavo tries to protect his innocence, and Eddy's like, all right, I believe you, Go on, after you. So Chavo walks away and Eddy does what any good heel would do, whacks him from behind, because why the fuck not? Then, Juventud Guerrero defeating Konnan in a match that was far better than I was expecting, because I'm not a massive Konnan fan. All Konnan this one until Juven hits a lovely leg lariat off the ring steps that Konnan had set up on the outside. Back to Konnan on offense. He gets a really nice head. It's a standing Indian deathlock front face lock thing. How's that sound? He grapevines the leg and then pulls Juve so he's got him in a front face lock. It's really, how many minutes in? 4 minutes in. Yeah. Go on. Oh, it's a police car. There we go. So anyway, Konnan hits a really nice German suplex, then locks on a rocking horse. There's a move you don't see very often. He swings Juve a couple of times in midair and then drops him on his neck, and that looked really, really nasty. Juve comes back when Konnan hits a super German suplex. Juve landing on his feet, hits a dropkick, but then Konnan hits another sweet-looking German suplex. Juve counters a powerbomb into an X-Factor style facebuster. He attempts a 450 splash, but Konnan moves and hits a cradle DDT for a very, very close near fall. Crucifix pin gets 2 for Konnan, but Juve rolls through and gets the win. Juve bumped like an absolute boss for Konnan here, which of course made Konnan look great. Juve's turned face since they took his mask off him. He's lost his mask last month in a match with Chris Jericho. And I think they're trying to build him up as like he's an underdog. He's got a lot of spunk, shall we say? And he can take a lot, comes back. It's all good. Gene Mean is with JJ Dillon, who says that the Giant has asked for the powerbomb to be reinstated tonight. So just for tonight, that's important. We've got to stress, just for tonight, the powerbomb is legal. I'm sure you won't see the jackknife on Nitro, or Thunder, or anywhere. Next. Chris Jericho defeating Dean Malenko in a really good match to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. So Jericho is the man of 1,004 holds. Because, of course, Dean Malenko is the man of 1,000 holds. This will give us that great thing. We've probably all seen it where on an episode of Nitro, Jericho's got his big list and he's reeling off all the holds. Absolutely fantastic. This is lovely technical wrestling, as you can probably imagine from both of these two. Jericho really cracks me up when he puts Dean Malenko in a key lock and he yells out, "This is 643! Fantastic. He bails after a springboard crossbody misses and he gets vexed. He goes back to the ring and turns leapfrog into a spinebuster that once again Tony Schiavone calls a sidewalk slam. They're completely different moves. Completely different. And more importantly, when Arn Anderson does it, what does he call it then? Is that a sidewalk slam as well, or is it a spinebuster? One or the other. Can't be both. And then Jericho locks on a chin lock, hits a snap suplex, and a lion's hold followed by a backbreaker, which is turned into a stretch. Malenko escapes, hits chops, and then a lovely back suplex. Jericho gets a senton for 2, puts Dean Malenko in the corner, drop kicks him, and then chokes him. They reverse each other's suplexes until Jericho hits a gorgeous inverted suplexes. Then attempts the lion tamer. Malenko gets straight to the ropes. They go up top where Jericho goes up for a super belly to back suplex, which Dean perfectly counters into a cross body. For 2. Chris attempts the lion tamer again, but again Dean gets to the ropes. They go up top where Dean hits a super... Oh, yeah, it looks like to go for a superplex, but Dean turns it into a super gutbuster because why the fuck not? How does that sound? Absolutely beautiful. But Dean goes for a dropkick. Jericho catches the leg in midair, literally flips him round into the lion tamer and gets the clean tap out win at 14 minutes and 41 seconds. This match, it's like, well, Jericho's turned heel recently, as we know, and Jericho's on the Ascension now. His heel character's getting over. And it's like Dean's looked at him and goes, I'm going to do everything in my power to make this guy look awesome. Dean just was bumping like an absolute badass out there, and Jericho looked the best that I've seen him in WCW. Absolutely fucking superb. The only difference, of course, between this and the opener was that the psychology wasn't there. There wasn't any storytelling per se on that front. There wasn't an injured body part. But meh, I can live without that. After the match, Gene Mean comes out, walks past Jericho, which is fantastic. Jericho's like, I know, you're going to want to interview me. And Gene Mean just walks straight past him. And Jericho's like, what the fuck? Goes straight up to Dean and basically rips him a new one. Really lays into him. Do you remember... I can't remember what show it was, but when Medusa lost the Women's Championship, Gene Mean was a dick there. It's exactly the same thing here. Calls him a loser and basically says to Dean, where does Dean Malenko go from here? And Dean just, he was proper vexed. And he doesn't answer any of Gene Mean's questions until this one. He just says, home. And Tony Schiavone goes, what does he mean by that? He's like, he's going to go home. Obviously, you fucking idiot. Next. Lex Luger defeating Scott Steiner in a short match. That's what rating we'll give it. Short. Steiner turned heel last month after teasing it for ages. If you are new to WCW, that's all you get, because one of the things I've noticed about this show and many WCW shows is that there's no build-up package to this. There's no reason to happen. If you're watching this for the first time, you best hope that you've got some mates with you who can explain to you what's happening, because there is nothing. This is the 4th match on the show. No build-up. It's just like, this happened, you've got to take the announcer's word for it, or if you're lucky, if they'll tell you what it is. The thing with this one is, this one, for example, Tony says, and I quote, this is a match ringing with emotion. Lex Luger versus Scotty Steiner. And then goes back to talking about Malenko. It's like, that's good. Now I know why. So basically, like I say, Scott had turned on Rick, and you'd expect this to be the Battle of the Brothers, but no, that'd be silly. Scotty, I don't know what to call him, that's what Tony calls him. Steiner with a nice belly to back suplex. They brawl on the outside. Inside, Lex gets a power slam and attempts the rack. It's countered into the recliner, which, of course, as we all know, is the worst finishing move of all time. Lex's legs are underneath the ropes, but hey, it's uncensored, so we can let that one go. Scott gets a chair, and here comes Rick, but he gets taken out by Scott Norton as Lex hits him. No, it's a new one for you. How do we like this one? I don't know why I've never thought of this one before, but it is the loaded forearm of doom. Yes, and gets the win at 3 minutes and 52 seconds. This was an angle. This wasn't a match at all. After the bell, Scott tries to use the chair on Rick, but he gets dumped to the outside and bails, which is all good. Like I say, more an angle than an actual match. This could have taken place on Nitro quite comfortably. We could have given to something else. Next match of the night, in my opinion, as DDP defeats Chris Benoit and Raven in a really good, honestly, triple threat match to retain the United States Championship. No count out, no disqualification, falls count anywhere. No build-up package, because why would there be? So this match is happening because it is. How's that? Just take my word for it. DDP is super over with these fans. He has taped up ribs. The announcers don't make any mention of this at all, because why would they? They could tell us why this was taking place. They could tell us why DDP's got taped up ribs. They just choose not to, because WCW. How's that sound? Triple lockup at the start. Never seen one of those before. Slingshot cross body by Page onto the other two is good. Benoit snaps suplexes Raven, but the cover is broken. Swan dive gets 2 for Benoit. Action is fast-paced, action is crisp and fluid, and of course most of the counts are just getting 1 as the third guy pulls the other one off. That sounds a bit rude. Raven with a dive over the top and gets 2 on the outside because falls count anywhere. They brawl at the entranceway, complete with covers. Page and Benoit put a bin on Raven's head and whack him with crutches, which is lovely. And then Benoit gets his crutch and whacks Page in the ribs. Yes! Fantastic. That's absolutely brilliant. He then uses a bin on the ribs. Why the fuck not? Raven and Benoit then throw Page into the uncensored sign, which it not only completely takes him out, but it's just such good sound, genius move, because think about it, it's a triple threat match, yeah? Get rid of one guy and you two can fight it out. It's for the championship, so get rid of the champion, you two fight it out. It guarantees that one of you will be the new champion. Everyone wins. Why don't people do that? They launched him through the set, and it's one of those, right, we won't be seeing Page again this match. Let's fucking do it. You know? Brilliant. Oh, Benoit gets out a kitchen sink because he can and uses it. Fantastic. Raven gets a velvet movie theatre style rope and uses it. Raven goes to a table in a really piss poor looking spot. It was an Irish whip reverse and he just went through it and he's like, really? That's the spot you're in with for the table bump. They go back to the ring where Raven blows Benoit to buy himself some time, and now DDP is crawling to the ring, and I don't mean he's crawling, he's on all fours crawling, he's sliding, he's pulling by his arms, his broken body, to the ring. As Benoit hits a drop toe hold onto a chair, and they continue to brawl on the outside. The announcers really are putting over Page's guts, his spirit, and more importantly, how much the United States Championship means to him. That is brilliant announcing. I absolutely love it. Page in as Benoit locks on a sleeper on Raven, so he puts a sleeper on Benoit. Raven counters it with a jaw break, which means that Benoit goes down, which means, of course, that Page goes down, body scatter everywhere. It's just fantastic. There's no count out, so the referee starts a 10 count, because why not? Why the fuck, why not? Rolling Jones by Benoit on Raven. As he goes up, as he gets up off the second one, Page comes along and Jones a pair of them because he can, and it looks great. And it draws a DDP sign. Raven gets Lodies. Is it Lodi or Loki? Lodi Lanes? Yeah, it must be Lodi. He's got a giant sign that says "Use my sign" on it, and he gets it, and he goes to use it, and Tony Schiavone quite rightly mocks him. He's like, "What the fuck's a cardboard sign gonna do?" Use it, and the thud it makes really makes it obvious that it's not a cardboard sign. And he pulls off the cardboard, and it's a colossal, like this big stop sign. Fantastic. Raven sets up a table and puts the corpse, because it is by nice point, of DDP on it. But he walks into the stop shine shot from Benoit. Those two go up top. Page recovers, knocks Benoit off to the outside, and hits a motherfucking super diamond cutter off the top through the table and gets the win. fantastic stuff. Really good storytelling in this one, I thought. Really good, decent length. We had about 14 minutes. For some reason, I haven't written... The only match ever that I haven't written down how long it went. Oh, wait. Shut up, geese. Oh, I haven't got the page over. Ah, fuck it. Damn geese, one of the problems of living next to a canal. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed this match. We've seen better triple threat matches and we've seen better hardcore matches, but this was just, oh, I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly recommend going and watching this match. There's probably nothing else on this pay-per-view that you really need to go out of your way and see, but this, I thoroughly, really do recommend it because you'll love it. The announcers run down the rest of the card. I'm not sure why, but at least we've got a bit of backstory for each of the remaining 4 matches. Something the card has been severely lacking to this point. The Giant defeating Kevin Nash via disqualification in a match. I assume this is the final chapter of the Nash broke my neck and now I want revenge storyline that started at Sold Out. The jackknife has been banned since then. I'm pretty certain that you haven't seen it on Nitro or Thunder once. Oh, no, no, no. Nice and simple. How many bumps will Kevin Nash take? Now, let me warn you this one before we go on. I'll give you a clue, yeah? This match goes 6 minutes. I'm going to guess not very many at all. I'm going to go with my traditional 3. Giant has a neck brace on, which is fun. They lock up, Nash escapes and mocks someone. I don't know why. He sort of starts doing the blah, 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 sort of martial arts thing, and then he does a big high kick, and you're going, but Giant doesn't do any of those. Why are you doing that? It's funny, I suppose, if you like Kevin Nash. I'm sure you think it's great, but it's one of those, but who are you mocking here, Kevin? Because you know, if you were against if you were against Ultimo Dragon, right, and you were doing all this, it would make perfect sense. Against the Giant, it's one of those, why are you doing that? Nash with a hammerlock, so Giant decks him and hits an elbow drop. The commentators mentioned that in fact he isn't favouring the neck, which is interesting. Clothesline puts Nash on the outside as Tony mentions that that this isn't a disqualification anymore. Up until this point, going over the top rope apparently in WCW was an automatic disqualification because WCW. You know, apparently that rule's been overruled because someone's gone, I'm going to say that's the stupidest thing ever. You know, so that's been you know, it doesn't happen anymore. Giant tries snake eyes on the outside, but Nash counters, meaning the Giant goes headfirst into the ring post. Brain says that Nash should work the neck. Nash must have heard him say it because that's exactly what he does. Clubbing blows, then he locks on a sleeper. The crowd are not interested in the slightest, by the way. Nash poses, not much reaction, to be honest. You'd think being, you know, one of the NWO and all that, they'd get big reaction. But, you know, he does the Wolfpack sign, and everyone's like, meh, and get on with it. He then takes off the neck brace. He goes to attack, but Giant gets the foot to the balls. Giant does something that makes no sense because, you know, you've got this broken neck and you've got your neck brace on towards you. You do a massive headbutt, which of course means you're going, you know, that hurts the neck. Idiot. What a stupid thing to do. He gets a pair of clotheslines and a scoop slam. That's 1 bump for Nash. He calls for the choke slam, but instead he goes for the jackknife. And here comes Brian Adams, who's got a baseball bat. He whacks the Giant with it, which gets the disqualification on Uncensored, which is the no disqualification pay-per-view. Bollocks to WCW. Shit like this is why I look at it and just go, oh, what a stupid company. Makes no sense at all. Just no sense. The match was all right. It wasn't anything great. It really was nothing special at all. What a stupid finish. And then, of course, we have an NWO run-in, because why wouldn't we? Second NWO match of the night. Here's your NWO run-in. Like, oh, bloody hell, there's the NWO again. It's Konnan and Vincent. They both get chokeslammed. When he tries it on Adams, Nash gets up another baseball bat and smashes it over the head of the Giant. Calls for the jackknife powerbomb. The Giant hulks up and Nash runs away. If you think this is the payoff, don't worry. There is going to be a payoff at next month. We're going to get a tag match. It's going to be Hogan and Nash versus, I think it's Piper and the Giant in a baseball bat on a pole match. There we go. The match was alright, I suppose. Waffled on for 20 minutes and we've still got 3 matches to go. Yay! Bret Hart defeating Curt Henning in an alright match, actually. This match is happening because WCW, because there's no build-up package for it. Beautiful technical wrestling from both men until Henning bails to confer with manager Rick Rude. Bret gets the sharpshooter on straight away, but Rude runs in and decks him. Because he can. Referee didn't see it at all. I mean, I know it's uncensored, it's the no disqualifications and all that, but the referee doesn't see it in the slightest. Fantastic. Tenay mentions about SummerSlam 91. You know, that night, Mr. Perfect, aka Curt Henning, lost the Intercontinental Championship to Bret Hart. And Tenay says that that's been eating at Henning for years. And that's fantastic. That'll do me. I like that. Curt goes to work on the leg, including wrapping around the ring post. Then Rude does the same. Figure 4 by Curt, complete with Rude holding the hands. Bret starts to come back, so Curt, as simple as you like. I love shit like this. Just literally, Bret's coming back with punches, and Curt just goes on the knee. And you're just like, that's fucking genius. That's so clever, because it's so simple. I love it. Brilliant. Brilliant. Absolutely straight up brilliant. Oh, now I've lost my fucking place because I was marking out so much for something so simple. Bret is selling the arm, selling the knee, like an absolute boss as Curt goes back to the knee with a standing leg hook. Scoop slam and Curt goes up top for some reason, and now Bret takes control. Oh, yes, he does. He launches Curt and then gets 2 off a clothesline, a small package. Russian leg sweep also gets 2, as does a bulldog. Problem is, Bret, oh, he does something so super. Right? It's a gorgeous backbreaker. I really think that Bret Hart's got one of the best backbreakers in the business, right? But then he does the elbow drop off the second rope. And I'm sure you know that means he lands on his knees. What that means is that all that punishment that he's taken on his knees, yeah? What does he do? Completely no-sells it. I mean, completely no-sells it. Like it's nothing. Oh, my knees have been hurt so much all match. Oh, I've just landed on my knees. Oh, I bet that really twinges. Nothing. Nothing. They're just like, fuck you, Bret. Why even bother? Curt counters a whip into and basically hits the Henning flex, gets a very close near fall actually. Crowd just don't care about this match in the slightest. They care about this one less than they cared about Kevin Nash in the last one. Bret shoves Curt into Rude, then hits a victory roll. Curt rolls through it into a cover of his own, complete with a handful of tights for 2. But then Bret turns that into the sharpshooter, which gets the win at 13 minutes, and 55 seconds. Rude and Curt attack Bret, complete with a Rude awakening and an absolutely awful chair shot from Curt Henning. Match was pretty damn fantastic until Bret's comeback, because he completely stopped selling the leg. And yeah, you had a chance to spot on a classic here if you just kept selling the leg, in my opinion, and he didn't. It absolutely didn't. Still, a good match. Shame the crowd didn't agree. 3 NWO losses, by the way, tonight, because, of course, Curt Hennig is part of the NWO, as far as I remember. And, of course, there's a beatdown afterwards. The NWO lose, but they instantly get the heat back by battering someone. Again and again and again and again. And it's just boring. It's so repetitive, and so you can see it. I've never seen this show, and you can see what's going to happen a mile away after every one of them. 2 matches to go. So, Sting defeating Scott Hall in a match to retain the WCW Championship. In a nice bit of continuity, Scott Hall won the World War III event back in November or October 1997, and they've actually remembered that he is the #1 contender. That's fantastic. If that happened today, that would have been completely forgotten about. Completely and utterly ignored. Of course, if this is your first WCW pay-per-view that you're watching, you're just going to have to say, Scott Hall's #1 contender, because he is. Because we don't see anything about World War III. Just take our words for it, boys. Just take our word for it, alright? How's that sound? Bloody Christ. Everyone. Hall gets a chokeslam early on and then mocks the Giant, because the Giant's involved in this match for some reason, which he isn't. Sting no-sells it, but gets tripped by Hall's manager, Dusty Rhodes, on the outside. Ow, that was my knee. Oh, with a discus punch, a lariat, and then a fall-away slam. They collide off an Irish whip, and Sting goes headfirst into Hall's crotch, which easily gets the biggest pop of the match. Double KO as Dusty gets in, while the ref attends to Hall and drops the bionic elbow. Hooray! This cover gets 2. I mean, they're like, you got a new champion. They're still selling the bionic elbow as the most dangerous move, which I really like. Hall unloads with punches, but Sting, he stings up, hits an atomic drop and a Stinger splash. Scorpion Death Drop isn't locked on as Dusty distracts Sting. Sting counters to Hall Irish whip, so Hall is whipped into the referee. Referee gets bumped. Dusty tosses some knocks to Hall, who uses them, but the resulting cover only gets 2. The Razor's Edge is countered into the Outsider's Edge, same move, is countered into the Scorpion Death Drop for the win at 8 minutes and 31 seconds, which makes the crowd pop. This match felt like a long Nitro main event, if I'm honest. It was alright. You know, it just, I don't know, it never felt, for a second, actually no, I was going to say it didn't feel like a second that Hall was going to win. There was that one moment after the bionic elbow that you thought, maybe, but no, other than that, there was no point. And it didn't feel special, because I think the lack of build-up package for a start. At no point, what I'm basically trying to say is, at no point in this one did you think, we're going to get a new champion tonight. You know? And of course the announcers were too busy putting over the cage match, because why wouldn't they? It's the cage match. And, in our main event, oh dear, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage fought to a no contest in a shite cage match. Usual Hogan offense. Oh, this is because, I mean, Savage cost Hogan the belt last month at Super Brawl. This is basically for control of the NWO. Randy Savage has been getting Riddick over on Nitro this last couple of weeks. And, yeah, it's NWO versus NWO. Here we go. The lights start flickering on and off as the match starts, which is funny. And we get the usual Hogan shit-looking offense, including the dreaded backdrop of death. Sorry, the back rake. Backdrop! Back rake of doom! I give up. And the weightlifting belt shots until he misses the leg drop and Savage unloads with the belt. He sends Hogan into the cage where he's busted open. Hogan comes back with a belly to back suplex and rams Savage into the cage. And the crowd just don't care. More cage shots bust Savage open. They go outside. Referee opens the door for him. But it surely negates the point of not only having a cage match, but having a door that's padlocked shut. What's the fucking point in that? Ugh. And then, yeah, they go back inside. They brawl for like 10 seconds on the outside. Then go back inside. Referee padlocks the door again. Pointless. Utterly stupid. Savage goes up top, hits an axe handle off the top of the cage. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the best part of this match by a long shot. Gets two. He goes up top again, but then the Disciple comes out. The Disciple is the man formerly known as Brutus the Barber Beefcake, amongst many, many other things. He unlocks the padlock. Again, point of cage match. Just do a normal match. Disciple decks the referee and dares Savage to jump down on him. Savage calmly gets down and he's like, oh shit, now it's 2-on-1. But as he realises that, Sting repels from the fucking ceiling. The crowd go nuts for that. It's the only thing they're interested in this match. And now it's 2-on-2. And for some reason, even though they could just attack him, Hogan and the Disciple are like, no, no, please, no, no, please. And Savage keeps tapping Sting on the shoulder. And then, you know, he gets the crowd going like, yeah, yeah. And then whacks Sting. And you're just going, oh, why? Why are you doing that? Pile driver for Sting. Savage fucks off. And the match essentially, I guess, is ruled a no contest at 14 minutes. And you're just going, what's just happened? And even Shivani says, was this from some sort of elaborate plan? Because if it was, that was a fucking weird way of doing it. We're going to beat up Sting. We're going to get to Sting, right? By having a cage match and beating the shit out of each other. As that might be a bit of an overstretch, mustn't it? To the point where we bleed all over the shop. I'm going to get random guys to come in because he's Hogan's best mate. Basically, the whole point is that Macho bails as Hogan yells, "You work for me!" as we fade to black. An awful match with a rubbish ending. And for the first time in a while, I think I'm going to go below the dud. This is a minus star. No, it can't be because that axe handle off the top was alright. Yeah, we're going to go with the dud. This guy, something just pricked my brain and said, no, we can't give it a minus because of the axe handle. This is a dud rated match though, absolutely. And once again, I'm sorry if I sound like I'm repeating myself, bit of deja vu on this one, but sorry, I'm going to have to change my rating there before you all down here go, me, it says -1. Because someone will, because they always do. Bit of deja vu here. I know I'm probably sounding like a bit of proverbial stuck record here, but if you avoid all of the NWO stuff, all of it, you've got a pretty damn fantastic pay-per-view here. You know, you've got a 3.5, a 2, a 2.5, a 4, and another 3-star match. It's just like I say, all the NWO stuff is rubbish. It's completely avoidable. It's really, really boring and predictable. You know, look down below in the comments, and my boy NWO Wolfpack will be telling you why this was a really good pay-per-view. But other than that, I'd love to know what you thought of this show. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, I don't know, actually. It's going to be one of the shows. If you're wondering, I just don't have the time to do the ECW shows, I'm afraid. I'm so busy at the moment. It's why today is the 31st of April and we're getting this show done now. You know, I've been trying to do this pay-per-view for 4 days now, and every time I've sat down to do it, something's come up and it's like, ugh! So I've had to watch it today in one sitting. It's like, come on, I don't like doing that. I like taking my time with pay-per-views. Alright, I've been Mark Pay. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave me a comment, and I'll be back very, very soon. Take it easy, guys.